Good evening. Happy Sunday to everyone. It's Sunday meal prep time in Tennessee. I like my shirt there. It's a lazy day. So we're going to do another week's worth of meals because I have to do this anyway, so why not share the love with you guys? And I'm pulling all 5 of my meals from 5 Dinners 1 Hour, if you've never heard of it. I'm going to place my link tree either in the comments or in the description of this video when I post it. And in the link tree, you're going to find Pampered Chef, all the things I either sell or I like favorites lists and things like that. And 5 Dinners 1 Hour, there's a direct link in there for them as well. So what you do is you purchase a package for however many servings. You pick a menu or a combination of menus. And then each week you go in there and select your 5 meals, save them to a menu, and then you go print your menu, and it gives you this lovely shopping list. So if you're a click lister like me, whatever grocery store you prefer, I love to use Walmart. I also love going into Aldi. It's just easy just to sit in the comfort of your own home and click the list, I have found, so that's the way I like to do it anyways. So you just put all your items on your grocery list, and then you get these wonderful recipes printed out for you, and it's got instructions for ingredients on assembly day, assembly directions, ingredients needed on cooking day, and cooking instructions. So pretty cool. So we're going to do 5. I'm going to get started. We're going to do the slow cooked cherry balsamic pork tenderloin. It's a mouthful. And this is from the Clean Eating, surprisingly. So I always end up with a huge, it's a Tyson pork tenderloin. And you know, you can't always, oh, you can't see. You can't always control the size of your portion of your meat, so to speak. So I'm going to spin you around here. Look at my messy counter. And I may raise this. Hold up. Let's see if that helps. So sorry. We're going to do some adjustments here. Okay. That might actually be a little bit better. I don't know. Yeah, no, yeah. Cleaned off my messy counter today. All right, so you would normally put this in a Ziploc bag, but like I said, I either have to trim this guy down, and I'll just go ahead and cook it tomorrow. So when I'm done, I'm going to saran wrap it and put the lid on just to keep it as airtight as possible. And we'll probably do that one first just to make sure it doesn't dry out or anything like that. So it calls for 2 points. This is, we do a serving of 6 because we're a family of 5 and we inevitably have 6 or 7 people here eating. Leftovers are always nice. So 2 pounds of pork tenderloin for 6, 1 cup of frozen chopped onions, and I've got halved an onion. I don't like the frozen onions. They're a little bit too soggy and gummy for me. So I just go ahead and slice up part of an onion. And then we just chop it up. And this is a food chopper. Most everything I use is Pampered Chef. If you have any questions about that, let me know. So that is, I would say, about a cup right there. And let's get rid of any of the flat pieces that don't want to chop up. And then take this, and you're going to add all of these to your Ziploc bag, or in this case, I'm adding it to my crock pot. Okay. And you can measure this out, guesstimate. If you love more onion, then use more onion. If you don't like as much, use less. If you like the frozen chopped onion, then that's even quicker and less of a mess, if that's what you want to do. 2 cups of frozen cherries. How much we got here? We've got 16 ounces. Perfect. And this is just pitted dark sweet cherries. And I think I've made either this one specifically, or I made, I don't know, maybe just a varied recipe or a version of this. So it's perfectly 2 cups. And I like to use these for my smoothies too, if you guys like to make smoothies. Those work pretty well. I accidentally grabbed the pitted one time, and I wasn't paying attention, and I threw it in my blender, and you would have thought the house was coming apart. Oh my Lord, it was terrible. So just double check when you're either picking it out of the freezer or putting it on your grocery list. Just double check and make sure they are pitted, because that's not good. All right, we've got some balsamic vinegar. Most of these are going to be gluten-free. This one's red wine and grape must. Does contain sulfites. I love the acidity from balsamic vinegar. I like the rich flavor of this. And if I had the money, I would purchase the aged ones that are like thick, like syrup, and just so tasty. I think I've done that one time in my life, and it was so worth it. I think I used it in my spaghetti sauce. It had to be something worthwhile, right? So this calls for a 1/4 cup. Let's see. So I'm going to get my measure-all cup out. One end is for liquids and one end is for solids. This is an awesome measuring tool if you've never tried one. You just flip it upside down, and it's got a plunger that you push to get your dry mixture. And we're just going to pour this. Like I said, I've had either this recipe or a similar one from a different place that was really very good. And then we're going to do a tablespoon of Dijon. I figure it probably drives everybody crazy that I don't measure. I drive myself crazy with it sometimes. So why not just show you? I mean, I think after you've been doing it a while, you can kind of eyeball what works. I'm probably going to have to spread this out too. Let me get a, oh, I think I don't want it out. I wish that pushed just a little bit further in, but that's a great sliding mechanism to adjust so it's a tablespoon or less, all the way down to a teaspoon. So that's a nice little tool to have, and there's 2 different sizes of that. There's a teaspoon and a tablespoon. Next, 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme. So I usually eyeball this, and of course, the bidia coming at you. So I've got my 1/2 teaspoon marker here, and I'll do a heaping teaspoon because this is a really big roast. And you guys know that I like to smush it between my fingers, release that aroma, break it apart, just like so. And then we're going to salt and pepper to taste. Tighten that back up. Pepper. Awesome. Don't know what that is. All right, so after you do that, you would zip it and shake the bag. And then chop your potatoes into 2-inch pieces and add to another bag with the remaining ingredients. So you could do green beans, and I'm probably going to cook those separately. Olive oil, salt, and pepper to taste. So those you would pour into the slow cooker day of cooking. So probably what I'm going to do, I just got a bag of the small gold potatoes. I don't know if I'll chop them in half or not. I think I'm just going to throw them in their day of cooking. And then the green beans I'm going to cook separately. My kids like them better sauteed instead of in a slow cooker. So I will probably just do that. So I'm not going to make a Ziploc bag, but if you were, you would get gold potatoes, 16-ounce green beans, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, salt and pepper to taste. Add that to a Ziploc bag and store separate. Then on cook day, shh, Bentley, hush. Sorry, anybody else have a yappy small dog? He hears the washing machine going and thinks it's something. I don't know what. So cook day, you're going to pour potatoes and green beans into the slow cooker. Place the pork tenderloin on top. Cook on low for 6 to 7 hours or on high for 4 to 5. Remove the pork and slice. Serve with dinner rolls if you want to. And that was super easy. Look how fast that was. Number 1 in the books. Okay, meal number 2 is sheet pan, taco, chicken, and broccoli. This is from Classic. Sounds interesting. We're going to try it though. So you need 18 chicken tenderloins. This is Tyson. I bought the pre-made tenderloins and then cut up a few extra of the large family pack of Walmart's brand of chicken that I got. And then you need 1 pack of taco seasoning, gluten-free McCormick's. And then, what else? Panko breadcrumbs, 16-ounce frozen broccoli florets, and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So, 4 C crumbs, gluten-free plain. All right, so there are a variety of gluten-free breadcrumbs. Unfortunately, on the click list, Walmart doesn't have a lot to pick from. And there is panko that I have bought in the past, but these are so coarsely, hold please, gotta get this open. These are so coarsely done that it's like panko, honestly. So I don't know if you can see that. Very coarse. So we're gonna get a bowl, and this comes with a lid. I love these bowls. And we're gonna measure out a cup. A little bit more. All right, so we've got that. So what it says is, in a small bowl, combine the panko and the taco seasoning. So we're gonna take our McCormick's and put it in there. And then I'm gonna get a clean fork out, because all I have are dirty forks. And we're gonna mix this up like so. And then next, we've got the chicken in a zipper bag, and we're gonna do a teaspoon and a half. No, call for 3 tablespoons. We're gonna do a tablespoon and a half of olive oil, because you wanna coat the chicken very well. And then we're gonna take shaker on the back to coat chicken evenly. Add half the breadcrumb mixture to the chicken. Okay. I got that good and mixed up. That smells good. Who else loves the smell of taco seasoning? I don't know what it is. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, got an extra bag here. All right. And I like to, if you have the fancy little prongs to hold them, I just still haven't gotten those yet. Just fold your edges back, so if you're worried about contaminating those for when you close it. So we're gonna put approximately a tablespoon and a half. You mix it up and you find that you need a little bit more, then you can add some more. And we're just going to coat that chicken really well. And then add half of the breadcrumb mixture to the chicken. All right, let's see. And thankfully, we've got some good measure marks on here. Need to mix that up just a little bit better. You can look on the sides and see where it needs to be combined a little bit better. Okay. And then let's see how much we have left. Almost a half a cup. That should be about right. And again, I want to coat the chicken here. Without making a huge mess. Not always possible. Okay. Then you're going to take your broccoli. And I did get frozen broccoli, y'all. I've never tried that for something like this. So here goes nothing. Just regular, generic. It's 12 instead of 16. Good luck in their click list finding 16. It's either going to be less or more. I find that we probably eat a little bit less broccoli, so I didn't go on the more side. So put this in a separate bag. Add remaining of the olive oil and breadcrumb mixture. Interesting. We shall see. We shall see. Olive oil is going to help in the cooking process and helping the breadcrumbs adhere. And I may do, since I have less broccoli, I'm probably going to reserve a little bit more for my chicken. Very nice. I don't know why I'm speaking in an accent. That's okay too. Okay. And you guys, Amazon sells reusable, cleanable plastic bags so that you're not going through these. probably be a wise thing to invest in. All right, in they go. I didn't even need a lid for that. I thought I was storing some of it, but I'm not. Shake it around. Flip the chicken. Get it in there good. Awesome. Now that was super duper fast, wasn't it? All right, cooking directions. Add prep chicken and broccoli on a sheet pan lined with aluminum foil, which makes cleanup super easy as well. Bake at 400 degrees for 25 minutes or until the chicken is cooked through. During the last 3 minutes, you're going to sprinkle some shredded Mexican cheese on top of, it says the broccoli. I think it should go on everything. Cheese makes everything better. And then you can serve with a package of rolls, but I don't think we will. Maybe we will. 2 of them called for rolls. I won't do rolls with the pork tenderloin, but I might do rolls with this. So how easy was that? Meal number 2. All right, number 3, slow cooked Spud Joes. I'm super excited about these guys. I don't know about you, a good potato bar is a-okay with me. I love potato anything. Potato chips, french fries, hash browns, you name it, love it. That is one of my weaknesses, so I try to limit it. But this one calls for 1.5 pounds of extra lean ground beef. And this is more like 2 pounds because, again, on the click list, I just did 2 1-pound containers. If I have extra, it is okay. Because they gave me an extra potato. I thought I clicked 6 baking potatoes and I got 7. Either I accidentally over-clicked or they accidentally gave me an extra one. Either way, they were super cheap. It's not that big of a deal. So I just sort of mushed up the ground beef. And everything goes into a bag except for the potatoes. We will do those last. And I should have looked to see what went in here. So let me grab a couple of things and come back. All right, ready, Freddy. So 2 pounds of ground beef. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. And this one, like I've told y'all before, it's the Great Value Organic. I checked and it has, what kind of starch did I say? Or did it have any at all? This one did not have a starch in it. Some of them do. But it is on the okay list. I love Dijon mustard. So since this gives a little kick and my kids are not fond of spice, I will avoid the Mike's Hot Honey. But I will say that did give my, was it the quesadillas I put it in with the barbecue sauce? It did give it a kick, y'all. It was pretty darn fantastic, though. All right, next, we're going to do some tomato sauce. And we're going to do an 8-ounce can. This is just Hunt's. There are several brands out there that are gluten-free. I like to write down what I'm using so that I don't forget. All right, so I love this can opener because you're gonna give it a twist backwards, see? And then you're gonna pinch it. I don't know if you can see the little pinchers. Pull it up and carry it over to the trash can. And it didn't even touch the food. There's no jagged edges. Nice. Then it calls for 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This is my favorite tool for the tomato paste. I love that whole line and the mix and scrapes and everything. So we're going to get this guy off too. Dispose of it. 2 tablespoons. How many ounces we have in here? All right, so we've got more than 2 tablespoons. All right. We will set this guy aside. And 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Let me go get my mustard back. It's all going in the same place, so just use that same measuring spoon so that you're not dirtying up another one. So that works. And I didn't mix this up very well, but when you're using Bragg's with the mother in it, which is super healthy, you do kind of want to give it a little roll just to mix it up, get all the good stuff in there. And we're going to do some parsley. Ooh, this is a brand new one. I do tend to run through parsley. That and probably oregano and basil the most, besides the onion and garlic. All right, so I'm going to eyeball this because I'll probably end up using a little bit more than a half a teaspoon. But that's okay. Okay. And then some salt and pepper to taste. I think 7 turns is a teaspoon, if I remember correctly. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I love pepper. Correction. I love pepper. All right. We'll give it a couple more turns just for good measure. And then, of course, good old garlic. So I'm going to grab my press and pull the spatula out. That's where you store it. Slide a little garlic clove in there. And then when you open it, you're just going to scrape out your skins into the trash. And it always calls for 2 tablespoons. So whatever your heart's desire. If you use the jarred stuff, measure it out. If you use fresh, you probably don't have to use that much because this is very flavorful and very aromatic. Is this 1 or 2? Hang on a second. Oh, it's 2. Yay. Okay. We'll just do what's left of this one. And then we'll be done with the garlic. How many of you love garlic and always put more? And then how many of you don't really appreciate the garlic and either A, skip it, or just add a tiny amount for flavor? But like not to where you taste it, I guess, would be key. Okay. And then honey. So here's our pure honey. So I showed you guys unless it got cut off, the raw mountain stuff from Walmart. We were at the bottom of that container and it was granulating, which means they added corn syrup in there and it's not pure honey. When you get that granulation, like the little honey bear you buy, he always granulates, like the sugar turns solid into little crystals. That's because they've added corn syrup as a filler and there's not 100% honey. So this came from a local hive and it was their last jar. They're not going to have any until next year, or well, summer of this year. So as you see, no granulation there. And so whoever you're getting your honey from, you want to be able to trust. And of course, sometimes either you go based off a referral or you just try it and see and decide if you're going to ever buy from them again, right? So far, so good. And this is really good honey too. And this calls for 1/4 cup. So that seems about right. And I'm just going to stick the spoon in there. So if you guys have a honey that's local to you, farmers markets and things like that, flea markets, you might find folks that. And since my spoon's in here conveniently, this is going to help stir up my ground beef. And then we're going to do the vegetables. To add in there next, let me rinse my hands. Okay. Also calls for 1 cup of frozen onion and 1/2 cup of frozen chopped bell pepper. So, I had, scoot that out of the way, a partial green pepper I had used for something else. And I like mixing the peppers, and actually, I'll leave it in these. And who else? Okay, so sometimes I will leave this whole and just slice it down. And sometimes I will cut the end off and slice it this way. Who else does that? How do you like to slice your bell pepper? I just like to eat them. I do. So this is probably going to end up being more than a half a cup, isn't it? Oops. That's all right. And then I'll cut up what's left because my son likes them in his lunches. So that works out. Win-win, right? Potatoes are going to fall down in the background. I had a nicely sat. All right. Did I mention I was excited for this meal? This may be a Wednesday dish. Wednesdays are pretty rushed these days, so I think that's what's for dinner Wednesday. How about that? Okay. Scoot you over. Now we're going to slide this on in the bag. Yummy, yummy. It's almost like we're making a chili, isn't it? Ooh, we can add chili powder to this. Should we? Let's think about what we've got. We've got apple cider vinegar, barbecue, Paper Chef's barbecue, sweet and smoky barbecue. Rub would be good. It's almost like a sloppy Joe, but I feel like just a tiny bit of chili powder needs to go in here if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Dijon, it's not going to hurt. Just a little bit. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right. Mix her up. I love this because I don't even have to touch the meat. I am mixing it through the bag. Who else gets super duper grossed out? I mean, I used to dissect all kinds of fun things back in school, and I was the queen of dissection, and always got picked to stay till the end of the class and help with the other classes, and got excused from my other ones so I could help others dissect. That was so much fun. I won't go into detail. All right, there's our meat mixture. Next, let me scoop these up. Okay, so you can see I've already wrapped the rest of the potatoes. So I'm going to show you, I already washed them, and I used my doTERRA On Guard. I will show you. We have a concentrate cleaner, and it's going to show you dilutions for what you're trying to do. This one, sometimes I'll just use the oil and dilute it in water and use that to clean. That's great for cleaning your produce and not using something potentially with a chemical in it. All right, so what I like to do is I'm going to move this closer here. Scoot you back. Got my foil ready. And then I'm sure lots of you guys already do this for your potatoes, right? If you're going to bake them. And these are going in the slow cooker. And believe it or not, on Valentine's, I figured out how to do my baked potato in the Instapot. I was pretty impressed. It took a while. Dinner was late that night. And I made a video on doing my steak dinner, and my phone messed up. So, all right, so I do both sides with olive oil. That's probably a little more than I normally do. Spin it. Keep the ends clean-ish so you don't get oil all over your hands. Coarse Himalayan sea salt going in. Give it a little flip. Makes it tasty. And then I pull up both sides to make sure the salt's all down there, and then we roll it up and we fold it. And those guys are ready to go. So what you're gonna do is pour the meat mixture into a slow cooker with a half a cup of water. And then you're gonna cover with a sheet of foil and lay foil wrapped potatoes on top. Cook on low for 7 to 8 hours. Remove potatoes and mash the meat with a potato masher, or I like my handy dandy mix and chop. If you guys don't have one of those, I feel like it's like air and water in the kitchen. So mash the meat with a potato masher or the mix and chop after cooking to break up the meat. And then you can have a 16-ounce frozen package of peas, cooked however you like. And then cut the potatoes open, top with meat. And a cup of shredded cheese is optional. You could do sour cream if you want to make it more of a clean version. Of course, limit your starch because that's on there. Or use a sweet potato. Those are good sometimes too. And you could use full fat plain Greek yogurt, and that's a great substitute for sour cream and mayonnaise in dishes, I have found, and I actually do like it. So there we go. We got that one whipped out. All right, number 4 is slow cooker soy garlic chicken with brown rice and broccoli, which we're already doing broccoli and green beans. I may have to do broccoli twice, or I may decide to do something else. I'll have to think on that. If you guys have any ideas, and I don't like sugar, like the snow peas. Nobody here likes those, because that would be a good one as well. Okay, so it calls for 12 chicken legs, but I've used chicken breast. I just was not in the mood for chicken legs this week. And then we're going to do 8 ounces of tomato sauce, sorry. Well, and all this is going into a Ziploc bag. Super easy when it's that way, isn't it? Then no worries. Let's use that again. So I'm going to set you out. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Isn't it cute? I love these little nesting bowls. That is exactly a 1/4 cup. Awesome sauce. And it calls for a 1/4 cup of liquid aminos or a light soy sauce. This is a great natural alternative. It too is from Bragg's. It's brand new, and I forgot to peel off the top. I think you could use tamari. Something like LaChoy might be too... They don't have probably a gluten-free and light soy sauce. This one is gluten-free. So we're going to get our cute little measuring cup here. Go up to a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit over. Gonna put that guy in there, and then last but not least, we're gonna do some minced garlic. I knew this would be used again. And it calls for the typical 2 tablespoons, I believe. Let me double check. Teaspoons, ooh. All right. I will probably go on the heavier side. Like I said, I am a garlic fan, but not like tons and tons and tons. Not that big of a fan. This will be more than enough, or maybe we should do a little bit more. Maybe 1 more? What do y'all vote? Oh wait, it's pre-recorded. Again, this is on your garlic preference. And you could use the jarred kind. Like the fresh better. Okay. So you're going to ball up on cooking day. You're going to ball up a few sheets of foil and place in the bottom of a slow cooker. Lay the chicken legs on top. So I'll probably skip that step. And put either just a little bit of water at the bottom or something along those lines. There's plenty of sauce in here. And then cook on low for 6 to 7 hours. These are probably not going to take that long. I'm going to say the amount I have is probably good for 4 hours. We shall see. And then you're going to serve with 20 ounces of broccoli, 2 bags of frozen brown rice steamers, but I will probably do some rice in my Instapot because that's pretty darn quick, and I've at least mastered that. Aren't you proud of me? All right, we're gonna get ready for the next one. All right, last but not least, I'm excited about this one too. Yummy. It's slow cooked chipotle butternut squash soup, and this is from the Clean Eating. Oh, by the way, the last one was classic, but I feel like it's very clean, except for the brown sugar. Oh yeah, that's what threw it off. You could substitute for coconut sugar or maybe some stevia. It probably wouldn't taste quite the same, but that is an option. Okay, so this you can serve with a salad. So we're gonna do drain and rinse the black beans, Ta-da! And then we had frozen corn, 1.5 cups. Obviously, this is closer to 2 cups. No big deal. It was just a bag, a Steamer's bag, Walmart brand. And then you're going to store these guys in here. And I use this to pour the can in, to rinse and to drain. It is quite handy. Scoot that over. I have a lid up here for this guy. And I have had these since the late 90s, so bam. Okay. Next, we're going to add everything else to a large zipper bag. Okay. Lots of frozen vegetables. The carrots, I've been liking. These are pretty darn good, frozen. And you're going to do a cup. This is a little over the cup. Like a cup and a half. We're making lots more, extra. And then frozen butternut squash. And these are cubes. And it's pretty darn frozen. And I just bought this. We're going to have to crumble these guys up, aren't we? I think I bought them fresh and stuck them in the freezer thinking that that's where they went. And that was just the market side brand there. So, we've got our frozen butternut squash, our frozen carrots, and a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Right, 15. This is 14.5. We're just all sorts of off on our measurements today, aren't we? And then, ooh, more garlic. Yummo. Okay. I might have to grab another bunch out of the refrigerator. It calls for, let's see if it's teaspoons or tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. Maybe we could just be lazy and add some garlic powder. Folks, we have used a ton of garlic today. It's good that it is very good for you, good for your immune system, cholesterol, heart health, all kinds of good things. And it tastes good. Love it. Let's, what's the word? Supplement. There you go. Little extra garlic powder in there just for fun. And then this is this is where it's at. Okay, so Chipotle's diced chipotle peppers. Awesome. You can get chopped. Calls for a tablespoon. I'm smelling it. It smells delightful, and this is going to provide just the right amount of heat and flavor, and I'm super excited all at once. Wrong lid. So that's La Costilla, and we're good. We are good on the ingredients list. No red flags. And then we still need to do a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Okay, so we did canned black beans, 15 ounces, 1.5 cups frozen corn. We did 2 cups, 16 ounces of butternut squash, a cup of chopped frozen carrots, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes, 1 tablespoon chopped chipotle in adobo. More if you like spice. So I like spice, but my kids don't. However, they may not eat this anyway, or at least the youngest won't. And the older 2 are a little bit, oh my, they're a little bit tougher. Ooh, you smell that. That may be a little over the top. It's okay. It'll be all right. All right, a little bit more than what was called for, but I love cumin, my favorite. Well, chili powder is probably my favorite. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper action. Probably don't need much of that because we added some kick to it. All right, so pour squash mixture into the cooker along with 4 cups of vegetable broth. And this, let's see if it says gluten-free on it. I can't remember if it does or not. But it has vegetable broth, which it lists what is specifically in the vegetable broth. Salt, sugar, yeast extract, vegetables. It lists the vegetables. Potato flour. Oh, wait. May contain traces of milk, soy, almonds, and wheat. It didn't list this on the click list. All right, so it means it's manufactured on equipment that also manufactures things like that. So Mama's going to have to get... Ooh, I think I still have my vegetable concentrate. Hold, please. Yes, I do. Amen. Okay, so this is what I love, and I'm having a hard time finding it. It's by Kitchen Accomplice. And it's reduced sodium veggie broth concentrate, all natural, gluten-free, makes 28 cups of broth. So basically it's 2 teaspoons per cup of water, and then that makes your broth. This has been a lifesaver, but it's been hard to find. And I use less of the veggie, but it's been super hard to find replacements for the beef and the chicken because Ingles used to carry it. Now I can't find it, so I'm going to have to look it up online, see who has that. All right, so we're just going to do that instead. So mixture in with the broth, cook on low for 6 to 8 hours. We're going to blend the soup in a blender until smooth and then add back to the slow cooker with the black beans, the corn, and 2 cups of fresh spinach leaves. Yum. Warm through on high for 15 minutes and then serve with a salad. Yum. I'm super excited. Yeah, they especially, well, Eliza won't eat it with the spinach in it and the spice, so... Spinach. All right, I'm gonna have to think on whether or not I want to add that. I might prefer putting it in the blender as well. What do y'all think about that? Blend the soup, add it back with black beans, corn, and spinach. I think I may put the spinach in the blender with the soup. I mean, I don't like picking up, like, you know when you're in the ocean and you're swimming and you feel seaweed? Okay, I don't like that feeling when I'm eating, so... I'll probably chop it up, and that's optional. The 2 cups of spinach are optional, so I'll think on that. But that was it, you guys. Thanks for hanging with me. If you don't mind networking this video by hitting the button in the left lower hand corner, that helps me out as well. I appreciate you joining me. If you have any questions, drop them below. If you have any experiences or suggestions or recommendations with some of the meals that I have cooked, let me know, because there's a huge community of people out there in 5 Dinners 1 Hour, and a lot of gluten-freers. And I'm going to work on some lunches or make the kids do it here in a few minutes if I can get them in from playing. And I'll take a picture of their bento boxes because we won't do a live with that. There's a lot of repeats, but I'll just take a picture and show you that. Thanks for joining me. I posted pictures throughout the week of the meals with suggestions or things that I did differently. If you like that, let me know. If you have a request for how you want those sort of done or posted, then let me know that as well. All right. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys throughout the week. Bye.